Over the years, we've seen some players who are incredibly generous with passing the basketball, while a few are quite the opposite. It's understandable not every player can be a good facilitator and feed everyone chances, but some don't even try. These players just try to score points and create their own plays. In this video, we will look at the most selfish NBA players for the 2022-23 season and how their season is panning out. First off, Dorian Finney-Smith. With the lowest assists per game, also known as APG in this list, Smith has a really big weakness in his game. A staggering low 0.7 assists per game mean that the Dallas Mavericks player doesn't really pass the ball around much often. But if there's one thing the 29-year-old is getting better at, it's shooting the ball. From being a below average shooter to one of the better ones in the league has really helped his team overall. The Mavs need players around Luka Doncic who can shoot well enough, and Smith is growing into that role nicely for the team. Up next, Brook Lopez. The 7-foot huge center averages 1 assist per game as of now this season. You'd think with his height and athleticism, he'd be a good passer of the ball and would feed his teammates, but that's not the case here. Lopez is currently having a good season overall, scoring 14.6 points per game, in other words, PPG. The Bucks player strives for rebounds per game, which we call RPG in short. His movements slow him down, but he gets the work done for his team. You could say he gets the dirty work done for the Bucks. Every team needs a player like him on the roster. Followed by Rudy Gobert. The French baller averages 1 assist per game. With a wingspan of 7'9" and long on the court, he is a menace to deal with on the court. The 30-year-old knows what he's doing for his team. The Minnesota Timberwolves wouldn't even focus on his assists per game because the French are currently 3rd in the league for rebounds per game. Gobert averages 12.1 RPG. That's mad, right? Plus, the French can also rack up some points on the board. Rudy's having a great season overall. He now averages 14.2 points per game on top of his amazing rebound game. Moving on to John Collins. The Atlanta Hawks power forward averages 1 assist per game. He's got the talent to move around well and make chances for his teammates by passing the ball well, but he doesn't exactly do that. Inconsistency has always been a factor in Collins' basketball career, but he's been on the rise lately. The 25-year-old's current season isn't going too bad with 12.3 points per game and 7.5 rebounds per game. These performances have been attracting teams from the league. Rumors are out that the Nets, Jazz, Wizards, and Mavs are interested in Collins. It will be interesting to see where John ends up. Now here's Keegan Murray. We can give him some leeway, right? It's Murray's first year in the league after being drafted by the Sacramento Kings in the 2022 draft. The 22-year-old averages 12 points per game, 4.1 rebounds per game, and 1.1 assists per game. We can say there's definitely a lot to learn and improve on this season. The kid's got talent. It's all about bringing it to reality. Not to mention Jarrett Allen. Here's another one of those examples that one weakness doesn't nullify your entire game. Even though Allen averages 1.2 assists per game, he's going strong this season with 14.2 assists per game and 10.5 rebounds per game. He's currently playing for Cleveland right now, and it's the perfect spot for him. With an overall young roster, Allen can also move into a leadership role while building his own game. Teammates such as Donovan Mitchell only help elevate your game. Let's learn more about Kelly Oubre Jr. What he lacks with his passing and assist game, Oubre Jr. makes up with his scoring game. A low tally of 1.4 assists per game is covered up at the court with 20.8 points per game and 5.2 rebounds per game. Obviously, there's always room for improvement, but it is correlated to how confident the player is. It seems Kelly is definitely willing to learn and explore. This season, he's already attempting more shots than he did in the previous seasons. We can see what's possible if he keeps going. Coming up, Gary Trent Jr. With a low rate of 1.4 assists per game, Gary's game seems like he only focuses on scoring. And even though he's good at scoring with a rate of 17.2 points per game, he doesn't help himself by being weak at creating plays and also being relatively weak at rebounding. Trent Jr. averages 2 rebounds per game, so that aspect of the game needs work too. Lately, he's improving and becoming a better player for the Toronto Raptors. This is crucial seasons for him as he's got 2 years left on his contract. We might see him opt out and renegotiate a new deal as he feels he's important to the Raptors. After him, we've got Ivica Zubac. The 7-foot Croatian plays for the Los Angeles Clippers. His role is very well defined by the Clippers. He's not good at passing or creating, but his huge 240-pound body is a good prop for defending. A low average of 1.5 assists per game doesn't hold Zubac back. He's currently in the top rankings of most rebounds per game, averaging 11.2 RPG while also racking up 10.6 PPG. That's a team player, right? Similar to him is Saddiq Bey. Saddiq stands at 1.5 APG. He's had a slow start to the season, to be honest. It's hard to believe this is the same guy that racked up 51 points against the Orlando Magic last season by averages of 14.8 PPG and 4.4 RPG. Even though he knows he can shoot and score better, things aren't really coming along for the Detroit Pistons forward. There's been clear news out of the Pistons camp that the franchise is open to putting Saddiq Bey on the market. He's been labeled as gettable. It'll be interesting for us fans to see where he ends up, including Lonnie Walker IV. Even though this is Walker's best season in his career so far, there's a lot to improve on. The Lakers guard is currently averaging 1.7 APG. To add to that, a low rate of 2.3 RPG is a major bump in his game. We all know he can score, and he's doing that well so far this season. A scoring average of 16 PPG. Walker is determined to make a place in this Lakers squad. The 23-year-old has earned the trust of the Lakers coach too, and to be fair to Walker, he gets to play with LeBron. A win-win situation, right? In a similar fashion, PJ Washington. Washington averages 1.7 APG. Looks like the Hornets have got to work on their passing and creating game. The forward averages 15.1 points per game and 4.7 rebounds per game. He's a good player to have on the squad. Washington is in the final year of his rookie contract, and the Hornets have got a decision to make. The franchise is open to letting him go if they get a good trade offer that suits the team. Just like OG Anunoby. The 25-year-old forward from the Toronto Raptors averages 1.9 assists per game. Even with the low assist rate, his season was going pretty good. Currently, he is facing injury issues, and the Raptors are hinting that it's going to affect his shooting game. Anunoby can score well enough for a fact. He averages 19 points per game and 5.8 rebounds per game. That is a solid base to build on, with a huge chunk of the season still to play for. We've also got Max Strus. The Miami Heat guard averages 1.9 assists per game this season. He's more of a three-point shooter in this Heat roster. Strus currently averages 13.7 points per game and 3.4 rebounds per game too. He does need to cut out the inconsistency from his game. In a few games, he'll be scoring up to 20 points in a game, and on other days, he struggles to even touch double figures. The team needs every player to chip in, and Max Strus definitely has a big role to play. In addition, here's Bojan Bogdanovic. The Croatian averages 2.1 assists per game, and even though that's a weak aspect of his game, he scores really well. Bojan currently averages 21 points per game and 3.6 rebounds per game. He's one of the main outlets for the Pistons this season. With his consistent good scoring performances, he's targeted by the Lakers, but the Pistons have no intentions of letting him go. Another player is Evan Mobley. The Cavs forward averages 2.2 assists per game as of now. The 6'11 player is a key player for his side of the season. He's averaging 15.1 points per game and 9.5 rebounds per game, and has no plans of slowing down anytime soon. In only his second year in the league, the youngster is playing a solid role for the franchise. And Harrison Barnes. The 30-year-old forward stands at 2.2 assists per game this season. The Sacramento veteran is a team player for his side. He's averaging 13.8 points per game and 5.1 rebounds per game. There were a few rumors lately about him leaving the Kings, but that's not happening anytime soon. Maybe because teams aren't willing to take on a 30-year-old at this stage. A familiar name is Al Horford. The 36-year-old is a fan favorite of the Boston fans, right? Horford is averaging 2.3 assists per game, and even though that's low for his standards, can't really blame him. He's at the later stage of his career. The Celtics center still averages 10.3 points per game and 6.3 rebounds per game this season. He's always been a good player to have around the rim to pick up rebounds. Up there, we have Lou Dort. The Oklahoma guard is having a rough patch lately. With 2.3 assists per game to his name, he isn't really shooting well either. Even though he's got 13.8 points per game and 4.6 rebounds per game, he still needs to work on his overall game. To Dort's credit, he is being applauded by the NBA fraternity for being a good defender against quality opposition. Finally, Marcus Morris. The LA Clippers forward averages 2.3 assists per game this season. The 33-year-old has been a consistent contributor to his side this season, being in the starting five as of late. He's averaging 13.7 points per game and 4.9 rebounds per game. With his overall contributions, the Clippers coach has put his trust in Morris. And on that note, that's a wrap for this video. Are there any players that should have made this list? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you at the next one.